he has brought back, we all know, 500,000 troops. It's the first significant change. After all, this is not his war. The genesis of this war goes way back to, well, even prior to Kennedy, possibly Dean Acheson, when he originally got us involved in our interest in Vietnam and this area of Asia. So it's been passed on from president to another. It's intensified each time, and it seemed to escalate each time. Now, Eisenhower would not commit any troops at all. He absolutely refused to do this. Then Kennedy came along. We got a little bit more involved. Johnson became involved, and we got more involved in the thing. And now Nixon, for the first time, is conscientiously trying to withdraw the troops. And he has. He's taken out 500,000 troops. And I feel that he has the support of the American people in what he's trying to do. It's not just a question of the honor of the United States. It's a question of preserving our treaty commitments, preserving what we stand for. And we have to do this. If we just pull out now, I don't know if any of you heard, I don't assume that you did, but I heard Senator McGovern tonight in his new peace plan. He telecast tonight at 7:30, and he had 7 points. I'd just like to run through them very quickly. He says that 90 days after he's elected, he's going to issue a national securities directive to stop all bombing, all acts of force, stop all shipments of arms, withdraw all forces from Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. And then after he does all this, he's going to notify the other side that he's done this. That's significant. I don't know why we'd have to notify him. It would seem self-evident, but he will notify him. That was B. That was part B of point 1. And then he will also issue a directive that we will no longer interfere in any Vietnam policy, which means we're going to leave, I take it, South Vietnam to themselves. I mean, whatever happens there, that's their problem. We're out of it. That's 2. 3, he's going to send the vice president to Hanoi to secure the release of prisoners. Now, before he was going to go himself and beg, but now he decided he's going to send the Sarge over. Maybe he can do a better job of begging. And then 4, after all the prisoners are returned, he's going to bring all the troops back from Thailand. Now, I don't know what he's keeping them there for anyway. Originally, he said he'd take them all out, but then he came back later and said he's going to keep a little residual force there. But after the prisoners are all home, he's going to bring the remaining troops out. And then, interestingly, number 5, he says he's going to repair the wreckage of the war, which I guess means we're going to rebuild Vietnam, North Vietnam. And then 6, he's going to expand a program for veterans. And then 7, after the war, he's going to give amnesty to everyone. All these people that are over in foreign countries that defected and would not serve. Surrender. There's nothing to do with peace. It's not going to help the negotiations which are going on now and which are succeeding. And it's just fortunate that there must be a Jimmy the Greek in North Vietnam somewhere that knows how bad the odds are for McGovern, that they won't buy this thing and prolong the war just to see whether McGovern's going to win or not. Because I think we will have peace, and we will have it possibly by election time. And it will not be because of the efforts of McGovern, to be because of the efforts of Nixon. Thank you.
And allow Mr. Krevling to get up and twist the words of my candidate, Senator George McGovern, as he gave them on the air this evening. In Vietnam, George McGovern's words are specifically in 1968, Richard Nixon pledged to end the war. Today, as the troops come out of Vietnam, 100,000 of them go into Thailand and Guam and under the aircraft carriers, and 20,000 more never will come home. So he is taking them out of Vietnam, and he's putting them in Laos, and Cambodia, and Thailand, and Guam, and the South Pacific. While the administration assures us that the war is over, it will spend $10 billion this year alone funding it. The people of Indochina know the war is not ending. In the past 4 years, more than 500,000 of them have been killed, and 5 million more are made refugees. By Hanoi within 90 days in 1954. I think we have reason to believe what happened before could happen again. That's a fair thing to believe, I do think. Amnesty. Mr. Krevling twists it again, the same as they have been doing throughout the whole campaign. Give everybody amnesty. Is that what you said, Wilbur? That's not true. George McGovern says this war has caused more bitterness and hatred than any other national experience. When this war ends, our most urgent task as a nation will be to reconcile the differences between us and heal the wounds left behind. In this spirit, when the war ends, amnesty should be granted to those who, on the ground of genuine conscience, have refused to participate in the Vietnam tragedy. This, of course, would not include deserters who should, as they have always been, be tried on a case-by-case basis by the military courts. That's not quite the way you said it, is it, Wilbur? If I am not mistaken, and you may tell me if I am, Will, George McGovern right now has a bill for a Vietnam Veterans Bill of Rights to guarantee them either a job or an opportunity for higher education when they return. I'm sorry, I don't have any more particulars on it. I do know he's in back of that type of stance.